All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Gummy Cast. I'm hoping that we can continue this moving forward. We actually have a couple friends who would like to be on here, and it would be really nice to be able to get, more people that are just that are out there, not just my friends who want to do this. So this is a stepping stone. We're going to talk about Gummy for now. This is going to be like basically an introduction to who I am, what I stand for, things like that. Just figuring out the footing and the direction of where we want to go with this podcast. But this is going to be a short one. Obviously, when it comes to doing introductions, you can only do so much. It's just like teaching a class. You have your first day where you go over the syllabus and then you're done. And you're like, all right, well, I got nothing for you, so have a good one. So I'm going to hopefully give you a little bit of content. We have just a couple things, a couple bullet points to go over. So this is hopefully the first of many podcasts episodes that I'll be bringing to you. The idea is to put this everywhere that I can find space for a podcast. Right now it's just streaming to Mixer, but I could be streaming it to Twitch at some point, and I could be streaming it to YouTube and DLive or whatever content place, Facebook maybe, anywhere that I can make live stream. I'll be clipping this and putting it onto YouTube, and then also going to be uploading it so that we can get to actual places for podcasting, kind of stripping everything away. I want to kind of get this out there, out in the world. All right, so we're going to talk about the history of Gummy playing video games. So when I was a child, my mom and my dad bought me an NES, Super NES, those consoles. So Mario and Duck Hunt were like one of the first couple games that we played. Bubble Bobble was a huge one that we had fun with. Excite Bike, things like that. Link was one of the first games that I remember spending a god awful amount of time playing, and I don't ever remember beating it. And then when the Link to the Past came out from Zelda, the Zelda series. That one, I spent more time on it, and we did actually end up beating it. So it was a lot of fun being able to progress and beat these games. And so it just like from there kind of like sparked this interest in playing a game to completion, if there was said completion. Upgraded up to, Game Boy, playing Pokemon. I remember working for my grandmother, doing chores, doing extra stuff, for them to pay this off. And I also remember stealing from my father change out of like these change rolls or these like these jars. I remember taking this money and taking it to my grandmother and like, hey, we have X amount of dollars, let's go. And so she would take that money and then give it back to my father and then give me a whole list of other chores that I gotta do. So learn from an early age not to take advantage of anything and be grateful for what I have. But I did work really hard to get those, the Game Boy. And really, honestly, there was not a whole lot of games that I had for the Game Boy. Growing up, I didn't particularly have a whole lot of opportunity to make money as a kid. And just, with, I don't want to say humble beginnings, as a family, we only got necessities. Gratefully that we were able to get some of the other consoles, but it was very limited to I wouldn't say necessity games, but there wasn't a lot of purchasing of games. We had this console, we have these set of games because we heard that these set of games were pretty good, and we played those set of games and we played the crap out of those set of games, but there was a whole lot of experimenting. It was all right, so I know these games are good, I heard these games are good, so we're going to stick to these style of games. Uh, that I'm fine with. We were able to do a lot with that. And then, just kind of, picking up the Dreamcast, which is a waste of money. And then, just figuring things out from there. We got an Xbox when it first came out, got it for Christmas. One of the first couple games that we played on there was Halo. We got, when we got the Xbox, the only game that we had was Halo, and we got other games, more of like family styled, Monkey Ball ish or Fusion Frenzy, those style of games. Anything that we could play as a family, at least with my brothers. There's four of us, and so it's pretty easy to have four, a four-player game like a Fusion Frenzy or a Monkey Ball or whatever. But with that being said, a lot of the time we were like, I just want to play Madden. I don't really care about I don't really care about wanting to play with you, which I guess one of the things that I kind of wish that we did a little more was spend time with a family, and I think growing up is tough without that. Spider, thank you very much for the Spark usage and the sub hype, even though it's not special, and the Xbox chat, going in chat, it's awesome. From there, it just kind of grew up. Dane Twig Legs, what is going on, friend? Welcome to the stream. Just in case you guys don't know, I am live streaming this, so you can find me at mixer.com/thegummyking. So I'll be trying to do these podcast things as much as I can, provide content, but also be live. Yeah, from the Xbox, we just kind of moved up to Xbox 360, and then we also had a PlayStation 2. Didn't really get too far with that. It wasn't until I don't like that language. He probably does, but I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that message. We don't really need to keep repeating that. No, it's fine. We just keep it. We're just gonna try to keep this as clean as possible. We're streaming under teen, so we're just gonna. That's fine. You don't have to keep apologizing. But it wasn't until the PC that I started. Thank you very much for the Spark usage. It wasn't until I got a PC that like gaming really kind of evolved for me. It kind of jumped up to the next level, and it basically started with EverQuest. We played a crap ton of EverQuest, and it was one of those things where we had one computer and we had shared time that we had to basically you play for your allotted time and then you were done. That was my mistake. I thought I had that off. Mix play, you got me again. oh boys. All right, so yeah, it wasn't until we had the shared time and limited time to play, and so like whenever the rotation happened, we did everything that we possibly could to rush right into as much of the game that we can in our little time lot, and it's like coming up to the end of the time slot, your brother's getting ready to play, and you're like, but I started this adventure, like I can't just stop. And so then they would do that back to you. No, I will not say that. Thank you very much. I don't know any Simpsons accents. I do apologize. And so, like sharing, it was always interesting to try to get as much gaming in as possible to also sharing time. Around the same time of that, we, got into playing more Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, figuring all those out was awesome. It was a big step in gaming for us. Me and my brother just played the crap out of Diablo, and we played the crap out of Warcraft 3. And it just made sense that as soon as the MMO came out for World of Warcraft, that we would just play it. And so around the time, it was 2006 when I started playing, is when the like it was, I guess, near the end of vanilla, right before BC dropped. We started just to hit the ground running, playing as much of that MMO as we could. And I guess it wasn't just till recently that I kind of stopped playing. I haven't really touched it since like last December or something. So yeah, I mean, it has taken over my life, but it wasn't like the only game that I ever played. You know, I played Assassin's Creed, I played all the Halos, I played a lot of, Xbox games. I played, experimental games on PC. People, hey, check this out, and we're like, all right, cool, we can do that. I played bingo at the bingo hall with my grandmother. Thank you very much for pointing that one out. I'm gonna add that to the list. So, I mean, from there, like, whenever there was a new MMO that popped up, definitely was all about trying that. So I played Rift for a little bit, Aeon for a little bit, the Warhammer for like a minute. What other MMOs are out there? I tried a lot of them, and nothing really broke WoW. And they're always said, this is going to be the WoW killer. This is going to be the WoW killer. And it just never happened. The Star Wars Online, that one was that was a pretty big one too, and I still kind of jump on that once in a while, but we're still just kind of more of a WoW type of person. It wasn't until recently when my WoW group decided, hey, we're gonna play some Destiny online, and so we were like, yeah, let's do this. And it just recently came out it was on its way to come out to PC. So Destiny 2. I hadn't played Destiny 1, and then I was just talked into doing this with a bunch of clan people or guildies on WoW, and then just started playing it, and I enjoyed it a lot. But the problem was nobody in the guild liked it that much, and so they stopped playing it. And so then I just had no one to play with, and I had a buddy, Ace. He was playing on the Xbox. He said, you should play it on the Xbox. I was like, I just bought it for the PC. Why would I buy it for the Xbox? And then my wife just up and was like, yeah, I'll do it. She bought it for me. Black Friday. It was awesome. Thank you for the Spark usage. And so, yeah, I've been playing that game pretty much ever since. I mean, I've given Fortnite an honest try. It's terrible, so I don't like it. I don't know. It's clunky. Not a big fan. I like watching other people play it. I like watching other people win, but not something that I could handle or do. So I didn't like to do it. I'm not very good with shooting. I'm happy for games with aim assist. But yeah, that's where I am right now with gaming, just Destiny. I mean, I played Warframe and other games like that, but it's and Dauntless came out recently. That was fun for a minute. But yeah, it's just been a lot of Destiny and trying to keep up and keep grinding, and I'm missing out on some grind time doing this show instead of playing. But maybe next time I do an episode, I'll play the game so I don't lose out on my time. Grind. All right, so how'd I get my start on streaming? Well, a couple years ago, my brother was like, hey, there is I don't know what that means. So I'm not going to read that out loud. I'm not going to get jibaited into saying words that might be misconstrued. All right, so brother was like, hey, we should make content for WoW. Let's make some YouTube videos. So we kind of like, it means hi in my language. All right, cool. What language is that? Oh, Swedish. Sweet, cool. Still not gonna pronounce it. I would butcher it. So he's like, we should make some videos, and we're like, all right, cool. Let's do that. And so we did kind of brainstorm as to what we were trying to make or wanted to make, and we kind of settled down on making essentially guides. For beginner guides, especially since a few years ago we were seeing an increase of people coming back to the game, or people wanting to start playing World of Warcraft. And it was always things that at the beginning of an expansion we were always the ones looking up videos on how to do something. And so we figured we should get ahead of the curve with the characters that we liked in the classes that we liked, and try to get as much information that we possibly could on the changes, the upcoming changes in the patch and everything, and just kind of work it out in the PTR and make a video about it. And I saw some like mild success over that. Yeah, sure. We're just gonna keep going with that Swedish in the chat. Cool. What? I'm just gonna ignore that. Hello though, Daryl. All right. So yeah, we got, I think, moderate success. Back then we were able to monetize after a few hundred followers. I mean, you didn't really need much, and so I was able to monetize my videos rather quickly. But I never really gathered too much like support on YouTube. My videos, I think we're getting like 20,000 views per video, but just no one was subscribing to the channel, and it was just kind of like a slow growth. But I didn't really see the whole point of continuing to make those YouTube videos for guides that were very limited to the start of expansions or the start of patches, and during the rest of the content they were making nothing. And so I started switching over to making specific guides for shaman things that were, I think, over the top and a little bit more, I guess, unavailable to some people. Like I had a video for how to get this specific shaman pet. Right, I had a video for these trials to get something in one of the older expansions. Things like that. And it was kind of just, here's this content that I don't really see too many videos for. I see a couple of videos, but here's how I did it, or here's how I accomplished it. And, it kind of just grew from there. But still, after that, it is still not making a whole lot of leadway on, followers for YouTube. So it just kind of fell off with making videos. It kind of got stale for me. And that kind of led into streaming on Twitch, doing that pretty much every single day. I think I did it for like 3 months. I streamed every single day. I got affiliate with them after a week or two. I think it was really quick. It took me about a month to actually sign the paperwork. I was trying to read the contract and everything, wanted to make sure everything was good to go, but it is what it was. And then after, I think, 6 to 7 more months of streaming on Twitch, I just kind of got fed up with how saturated everything felt, or how, I don't know, everything just was just bottom of the directory for everything that I did. It didn't matter what game I was playing or what game I was into, it was just bottom of directory. And I didn't really see a whole lot of growth potential there. I mean, doing everything that I could to network, I joined communities, I did everything here and there. And so I was able to, get followers and get, subs. I think one time I was rolling 9 to 10 subs a month at one point. It was just like, this is awesome, but also, can we bump those rookie numbers up? But it never took off. And I remember having a couple months near the end of my run on Twitch where I went from having, a decent average number of people. By decent, I mean like as a stupid small streamer, like between 5 to 10 people. I remember having like that amount of people, trying to earn bread. You're right. That amount of people pretty much vanished to nothingness. Like I remember streaming for just nobody for like 2 months straight. And it was defeating. But at the same time, I was ungrateful for my opportunities that I had. And I just kind of figured, I either need to take a break or a change of scenery. I kind of hit the whole streaming thing too hard, I think. And so just mellow out a little bit, recenter myself, and just kind of figure it out. And so I was hanging out in Professor Broman's chat. He was talking about just doing, the best that you can, but maybe you need to go to another channel, another platform. And he wasn't talking to me directly. He was answering questions. I think it was for one of his podcast streams. I don't remember. But he mentioned Mixer, and he mentioned that one of his friends, who was a streamer on Twitch, also switched over there, and switched from being a partner on Twitch to partner over on Mixer. And I kind of was like, what, this is an opportunity for me to move on over to Mixer and see what I can do. I'm not really missing anything here, and so we'll just kind of throw things together and see what happens. And so here I am on Mixer, and I've been on Mixer since February of 2018, and I'm actually happy here. I did take a little bit of a break in August last year. I stopped streaming, and I didn't join back up until December. I think it was January. I just had to. I was trying to get things sorted in my life. We bought a new house, and we're just trying to make sure everything was ready for that. And we were just, kind of, things were moving rapidly, and we needed time. And so I just kind of stopped streaming. And I think that it was probably one of the better things that I did for myself was kind of refocus on why I needed this or wanted to stream, and just kind of appreciated what I had that was available to me. And so breaks are always good to have. So if you're contemplating taking a break, I totally would suggest doing so. Especially if you're a small streamer, like and you are kind of pushing, trying to be better, but you're not quite like at partnership level. Absolutely take a break. You could always use a mental health day. You can always use a mental health week. You don't have to take a 4-month break like I did, but there's literally no penalty for you bettering yourself mentally, and that's how I feel about it. I'm not a psychologist or anything. I'm not clinical. All I know is I felt better after those 4 months of me taking a break. So here I am on Mixer. Yeah. So the name and the brand. The brand is the most important part, honestly. If you're going to try to figure yourself out on Mixer, you're trying to figure yourself as a streamer on any of the platforms, it's picking a brand, right? And so when I first started making YouTube videos and streaming, I was under the name Rush TV. My main character was my mage on WoW, and his name was Rush, Rush. But between server moving and switching to guilds and whatnot, I lost the name Rush on one of the servers, and so I had to come up with a new name. And super attached to Rush, and so I just added an E in there. I didn't think that phonetically it would change anything that much, but it still kind of looked like Rush to me, so we went with that. And of course, since I was on Twitch, I've added the TV, like most I guess beginner streamers add the TTV, Twitch TV, at the end of their name. I kind of figured if I'm making video content that I was going to go with that too. Then when I decided to go be, I guess, more serious on Twitch, I quit doing YouTube videos and I switched to Twitch. I kind of felt like I needed to be a different person. I needed to rebrand and kind of make an identity that's more specific to gaming and not to my World of Warcraft character. And so I used my initials. There was a professional gamer. I forget what team he was on, what esports team. But he was PPD or PDD, I forget. Just a 3-letter name, and Dota guy. From my hometown, and I just thought, what, like those are his initials, but that's also his gamer tag, and that's pretty sweet. And so my initials are DEW, and I wasn't sure I couldn't do gaming because like how specific would that be for like Mountain Dew, and I couldn't get sponsorship through that, and so I know that using like a 3 for an E would have been, kind of elite speakish. So I did that, and so I came up with D3W Gaming, and that was pretty chill for a couple months. I actually kind of still like D3W Gaming, but I didn't like the brand that I was putting forward with that. So I made my own logo, a bearded guy with glasses. Then it transformed to a wolf with headphones on. Kind of try to be original. Paid some guy some money on Fiverr to make me a decent overlay for it, and I wasn't in love with it, and so I was like, damn, I just wasted money on this. I wasn't feeling it, and so I just was like, all right, well, I'm gonna continue doing this, but my heart's not in it right now, and so I kind of feel like that either played into the part where I wanted to make the switch to Mixer and it kind of fell out of love with Twitch, or maybe it was the other way around. Me falling out of love with Twitch kind of made me dislike that, the whole setup that I had there. But mixing, switching over to Mixer, I just thought a rebrand would be all right, kind of just in case I wanted to go back to Twitch. I don't want to ruin any opportunities that I had. So I keep things separated. I keep D3W over here, and I just started using Mixer. And the first thing you do is you sign up using your gamer tag, and the gamer tag on Xbox that I had was Tropical Gummy. So the history behind Tropical Gummy, it was the Dota name that I had set up with my brother. One of the things that kind of irked us a lot is whenever we were paired up against teams that had matching names, the rest of our team started playing like absolute ass because I guess they were intimidated by people with, same clan names or, whatever. And so it's kind of like a strategy, in my opinion, to put forward like a name that we could have something similar and we can play by ourselves, or we can play as a group and we'd have the same names. And I was like, how about we just stick with gummy bears? So I was like, let's pick I'm Tropical Gummy. Let's do that one. And my brother's like, all right, I'm Sugar Free Gummy. I was like, that's a really lame name, but I love it. Let's do it. And so we had, I think one of my friends did berry gummies, or, just stupid stuff like that. And it was fun. Just doing things like that. And so when it came time to pick an Xbox name, I just put in Tropical Gummy because it was just fresh in my mind. And so then when I was streaming that's really what I was going for. And I couldn't feel like I made a real like dent into branding with Tropical Gummy, that I couldn't really figure out what I'd wanted to do with it. And so I was like, I'm going to keep the gummy theme, but I'm just gonna make it to something where like I could do something specific to the stream, but also I can, brand and I guess be cooler. I don't know if it's cooler. I may look dumb for all I know, but I decided I can just be the king of all gummies. Right? I started the naming scheme. I'll be the king. So I tried King Gummy. That was taken by an inactive account. And so then I was like, well, I'll just flip it around. Like, so I was the Gummy King. And it's essentially the same kind of idea. I'm the Gummy King. Then Xbox, someone has the Gummy King, so I switched it to 87. And then, so here I am. I'm the Gummy King, but my gamer tag is Gummy King 87. And 87 is important to me, so we'll get into the importance of 87. For that. Yeah. So those are my names. I paid a really good friend. I could put his name down in the chat. Jumbo, Bruno Jumbo. His name's Marcel. It's easier if I just say that. He actually made my avatar a while back, and then he made a crap ton of gummy style emotes for me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go with the stream rebrand. Let's do this. Let's put together everything that I could possibly think of to make my branding superb. And so, yeah, I dropped as much money that I could into him for this branding, and a lot of it's cool. I can flip between some of it right now if you really want me to. This is for people who are in my live stream right now. Anyone listening on podcast at a future date probably can't see this, obviously, because it's voice. YouTubers will be able to see it, but we're just going to do this. I made this, but that's the logo that he made. It's just a transition. We have the starting screen, which is really nice. I have all those things down at the bottom: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. The intermission screen coming up right here. We have just this nice little border up here with the thing that he created up at the very top right there, which is really nice. I actually use that now a lot for my banners and stuff on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. So up there is pretty sweet. Cam box over there on the which way direction? That way. Over there on the far right, the recent dono, top dono. Just the basic things that you would collect. All that jazz. I have an offline screen, which I don't have it on here. Just if you go to my Twitch or my Mixer, you'll see the offline screen. And then this is the ending stream, which is pretty cool too. All gummy related, all delicious related. I definitely enjoy all the things that I have branding wise. I did make a transition screen. That was kind of one of the things that I started looking into and trying to like customize my stream to make it like even cooler than the next guys. How can I up it? And transitions, like that's just the way to go. If you're switching between screens, if you do transition, is pretty dope. But all right, so the one other thing that I want to mention why I'm deciding to do podcasting is I have a pretty successful podcast already. Drink In, Geek Out. We've been doing it for 3 years. We talk about nerdy stuff and video games, and we drink beer. And so I figure I can do solo stuff and benefit my channel along the way. And so that's my experience there. I plan on having people on the best I can. Obviously, we're going to push for an hour every episode. This one right now, I guess, is 35 minutes, but we're just kind of going over the introduction, so can't really do too much for that. The goals for the show, just real quick, is I kind of want to educate everybody on just stuff. I'm not an advice channel. I don't want to come off as making advice videos. I don't want to say and sit here and say, all right, in order to grow on Mixer, you got to do this, because I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm playing along right now as we go, just to try to figure it out. I'm trying to diversify myself on many different platforms. If that works, awesome. I don't know. I don't know the secrets to life and everything there is, like number 42, I guess. But I have my experience. I have my failures, and I like to be able to share, and I like talking, so we can go from there. The plan is to get people actually on the show that can fail and have failed and have more knowledge than me, and then we can have a conversation about them and their struggles. I don't want it to turn into a here's how you succeed if you do these steps to make your stream awesome. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm an educator, but I'm just not that type of dude. So those are my goals for the show. Just kind of have people on, kind of share life experiences, share everything there is that we can share with gaming and life, and then probably have a couple laughs or two. Like, I hope to have laughs. That's the whole point of doing things like this, is to have fun. All right. Also, there's also going to be a section potentially for Q&A. That might be like kind of dangerous, especially with the kind of like spammy crap I had earlier coming in here saying inappropriate stuff. But obviously, I'll be 100% on board with answering questions if anybody has any questions particular to me. About me or my streaming experience, things like that. So I guess we can do that now. While we're talking about it, If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat as we go along, and I can do my very best to try to answer them. So I'm going to take a look at my viewer list or things like that. It doesn't look like I have anything going on. No chat questions. All right, cool. That kind of makes things a little bit easier, at least on the first day. But if you do end up in my chat and you throw questions out there, I will. If they're all right, I'll read them, and then we'll see how we can go from there. So, all right, thank you everyone for hanging out. I planned on keeping this short. This is just first go at the podcasting world, and so I just appreciate everybody for coming through and hanging out. So until next time, I don't have a catchy way of ending this, so it's just going to be abrupt like right now.